This was expected. Hey guys, it's the Air Warrior of Sports here. This is my sports channel. If you like sports, this is a channel for you. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Help this channel grow. Alright, another coach firing. Following the Maple Leafs firing Craig Berube yesterday, the Edmonton Oilers, have decided to fire head coach Kris Knoblauch after a disastrous ending, losing to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks in the first round of the playoffs. After going to the Stanley Cup Finals for 2 straight years in a row, losing both times to Florida, they decided to let Kris Knoblauch go, which was expected. Why was it expected? Well, because before the fire became official, if you don't know, Oilers fans, NHL fans, denied they were denied permission to speak to former Las Vegas Golden Knights coach Bruce Cassidy. They seek permission from the Golden Knights, who is still technically under contract, even though he was let go relieving his duties, to speak to Bruce Cassidy, which the Golden Knights have denied. This is before the firing became official, which ruffled some feathers, asking permission before firing the head coach. Well, now the coach is fired. Now Kris Knoblauch is fired, and now they could go look for their next head coach, and whoever might that be. And that just adds to competition with the Leafs looking for a new head coach and the Canucks. The Oilers are obviously farther ahead than those two teams. If you want into where Stanley Cup contention, the Oilers have McDavid and Draisaitl. But how long do they have McDavid and Draisaitl? You know they were critical at the end of the playoffs, especially Draisaitl. So this new coach, and who knows how long McDavid has? I think 2 years left. Who knows how long McDavid has in Edmonton? He's kind of giving him an ultimatum to Edmonton, kind of, right? So even though this team went to Stanley Cups 2 times in a row, and yeah, they bowed out in the first round, kind of handily to the Ducks. And now they're looking for a new head coach. And yeah, I mean, this was expected. This is a big this is a big collapse. Not as big as the Leafs. The Leafs obviously, I'm a Leaf fan, I'm sorry, but I admit the Leafs collapse is from almost eliminating Florida in 7 games, all the way to and winning the Atlantic Division, all the way to, well, one of the worst teams, which end up benefiting them getting the first overall pick, which was in the cards at the beginning of the season. They weren't planning to get the first overall pick. They weren't planning to be in the NHL draft lottery. Edmonton, on the other hand, not exactly big as a collapse. They still made the playoffs, but where they were in the past 2 years, especially the Stanley Cup. Yes, the first time they faced Florida, they went to 7. They were down 3-0, and they tied it up, but they lost to Florida game 7. Last year's Stanley Cup wasn't much of a match. Florida just outplayed them. I don't know, 4 or 5 games. I don't remember how many games it took for Florida to win. But then, yeah, they just weren't as good as last year. There's a lot of changes this year. Changes in goalies. Traded Stuart Skinner for Tristan Jarry. They got a lateral move. It wasn't exactly an improvement. But this cost the Oilers the head coach, Kris Knoblauch. And now they're looking for the new head coach. And they're going to have to coach McDavid and Draisaitl and see how long that could take. You're going to have to make some changes, Edmonton, I would think. But yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe below. Let me know, Oilers fans, AHL fans.